Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tony Onying Show. Today, we are glad to be hosting one of our young modules in the world of psychology, Madame Gloria from Makerere University, Uganda. Welcome to the show, Madame Gloria.
Thank you so much, Tony. Glad to be in Parental studio.
Again, what course are you doing at the university?
Thank you so much, Tony. I'm doing community psychology.
And today we are glad to be discussing an aspect which I believe is very related to community psychology, and that is childhood and parenting. What is it that you love so much about parenting? And by the way, before we get into that, are you married?
Not really, I'm not married.
And you really want to discuss with us parenting?
Yes, please, because I really love that section of parenting.
Okay. And that is childhood, I guess.
Yes, please.
So take us through what is it that one needs to understand about childhood and parenting?
Childhood and parenting, they are generally interrelating. So, childhood, this is where the child it typically grows through meeting different challenges. Then parenting, this is a way on how parents are supposed or the ways they take through taking care of their children.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, I want us to try to narrow this context. I believe that you're from a family, you probably had neighborhoods, and people bring up their parents differently. Are there any gaps that you realize in today's model of childhood upbringing?
Well, thank you so much, Tony. In bringing up children, sometimes you find some parents it becomes somehow, somewhere hard due to the fact that they have work, they have businesses. So you find that children most of the times are left with maids, left with aunties, stuff like that. So when a child is not being grown up with a parent, so this is where you find they get some of the disorders that we're soon going to talk about.
So, taking us to the aspect of the disorders, what do you think are some of those critical things that children go through that parents need to be there to look after them so that they transition accordingly?
Children, most of the times they go through challenges. For example, you find a child needs to talk to the parent or the parent, but they don't know how to bring up their issues due to the fact that they don't really stay with them for a long time, or they don't be with them or socialize with them.
And what are some of those biggest problems that these children grow up facing? We've heard of depressions, anxiety. What about some of those challenges that we need to maybe think about as kids?
Actually, most of the students grow up with that trauma, aggressive. So you find that a child is being being aggressive due to the fact that they have other challenges that they are failing to communicate to the parents.
Okay. Now, looking at that, would you think that there are some particular root causes that could lead to these children developing this depression, the anxiety? Are there some possible linkages that you might assume make these children grow into this kind of feelings?
Well, I assume they are there because when a child grows with a parent, happen to grow with a parent, most of the times that a child always have that feeling every time she needs something or every time she needs to talk to the parent, he or she is there to listen to the child. So when the parent is not there for the child, or the child fails to meet or to speak to the parent, this is where you find most of them are being raped, most of them are being involved in doing some of the uh, bad acts. They develop those challenges and they end up going to meet different groups that are not supposed to be joining.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, it will take me back to another context. We're looking at the single parents. We're looking at the working class parents. Where do you think the big gap lies? Is it the working class parent, which is coming out as a result of gender empowerment? Is it the question of parents separated and this child is being brought up by one parent? So the parent is probably overwhelmed. They cannot really do everything the parents are supposed to do. Where do you think is the big problem?
I don't think I can go to only one side. Most of the times, even if the child has both parents, sometimes they happen to have those disorders. So it's not all about having a single mother, having a single parent, or due to the fact that a parent works and doesn't have time for the child. But we are going to look at on the ways how the parent or the parents can handle their children and maintain their attention all the time. So this is not basically on being a single mother or being a working class. So you find some of the parents who are single mothers raising their children and they grow up very well and having good manners. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Gloria, for that. Now, let me just get into your perspective as a future mother to be as well. What would be your ideal of a good mother? What is it that you would want the other mothers to imitate from you as being a parent of tomorrow?
Well, thank you so much. This is a very good one. For me, I would look at the way how I handle my child or the attention I give to my child. You don't need to be rude to the child. So one, being rude to a child makes him or her fear you. So she won't be able to speak to you in any case she gets a challenge. So you find the child is telling someone else, not the parent, just the fact you're rude to that child. So me as a person or like a mother to be, I would wish to give my child much attention as a parent.
Would you quit your job to raise a child?
Not really. I would not do that, but I would get time, more time, to give to be with my child. Not okay. If we look at that, if you look at that, like quitting the job because of a child, it won't be specifically good because one, you're going to quit the job just to treat your child or to be with your child, and you fail to meet her desires. So what you would do is to make sure before leaving home, you first have to check on your child, see what she really needs, see what she wants as a child, and make sure you try to give her things that can make her busy throughout the day, so that by the time you come back home, you find the child has been doing some house chores, and you find the ways on how you can be able to reach home early and meet the child, so you can find out on what she has been doing or what she has been doing all day.
Well, thank you so much, Gloria. Thanks a lot for taking your time to attend the show with us. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, this has been Gloria sharing with us her perspective onto the bit of parenting. Now, in our next show, we're going to be discussing the dynamics of work vis-a-vis child upbringing. Should parents quit jobs to raise children? Should parents share their work challenges with their children? Is it the right thing to do? We'll be seeing you on that in the course of our next show. Thank you so much, Gloria, and hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much, Tony.